or unbeaten in December. I hope you've all had a fantastic Christmas. Craig, how we doing, mate?
I'm doing good. A bit indifferent today, though. I feel like am I disappointed? Am I not? I'm not sure, but I think I'm a bit disappointed overall.
Yeah, Sunderland won, Leeds won. I mean, fair play to Sunderland. They've had the better 20 minutes or up until they scored and then completely changed. But let's talk about their goal. Obviously, come from a throw in, a little bit dubious, I thought, because bit of a foul throw, foot off the ground. I mean, you're nitpicking there. What Aronson was doing, trying to run away from the ball without even having the ball, and then Shaka just picks it up. Brilliant pass, great finish from Adinga, mate.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of them, isn't it? It's all if buts and maybes. Like the whole build up, because you take away like Rodon's injured, so he's not. You know, he wouldn't. He were playing him on side, and he would have probably pushed up a little bit more had he been a bit more mobile. And ironically, it came from the guy that scored the goal that that injured him. And I just think the refereeing were poor today because, I mean, I don't want to glaze their goal too much because it were a like I was reading one. Is it Keith Hackett, one of the former head referees? He said that there were a pull on Ampadu's shirt as the ball was getting coming
Yeah,
out, and he said that should have been looked at. He said
yeah,
so.
things.
Again, it's like you say, it's nitpicking, but it's all these little things that referees and officials making mistakes that are causing things to happen. That he's supposed to protect players, and they weren't protecting any of these players today. Rodon very, very rarely gets injured, like to the point where
104 games in a row.
yeah,
Gone.
he's a warrior. He gets knocked all the time, and he carries on and shakes it off. But today, twice he got clattered, and not one card came out. And the not even that, we didn't even get a free kick for either challenge.
I think we did for the second one, but that should have been a yellow card, but it just didn't give anything for it. I just thought refereeing was very poor, like you said. But again, nitpicking stuff like that. But as soon as Rodon came off, though, it changed the game. I thought went back to a back four. Obviously, Vampadu just in front,
Mm.
which again gave Stats that free role of just sitting back but pushing forward as well. Obviously, Dominic Cal. Obviously, that team goal, 11 different people touched the ball or something, different passes before the goal, which is the most this season between a passage of play for a goal, I think it was.
Every player touched the ball, which is I think been done once this season.
Yeah, but
But yeah, a fantastic team goal. That's what I say. I said, when it went in, it's like it was just a fantastic team goal overall. It was brilliant.
yeah, that pass from Starch over to Aaron, to be fair, had a blinder of a game. Both of them did, which we'll
Yeah,
talk about shortly. But yeah, that cross, beautiful. And then Dominic Calvert-Lewin, 7 in 6 now. And it's not in a straight line. He's got that little curve it now, which, to be fair, the fact that he scored, was it 7 goals in 6 games, the most in December out of anybody in the top 10 leagues. The last players
yeah.
to do
I think this is his best. I think this is his best run of form as well. Like I think
it
this is
is.
it's his best streak. But yeah, I thought we grew into the game. I think the first 20 minutes, half an hour were a bit shaky. Or a bit like it was starting to get a bit scrappy. But then when Rodon come off, and like Farker said himself that he were going to change the formation after around that time anyway, because he noticed that he noticed something, and it put us on top because from that moment on we dominated that game. Like to say we played at their back garden and they've not lost a game this season at home. We it were back to like it were championship where we battered them and we just didn't score. We had chances to score and we didn't take them, but
I don't get this whole they've got 6 players out, like AFCON and stuff like that. But you got to think they've still got players that know their system. Chris Riggs knows their system, played week in week out last season. You got Robbie, who's a decent striker, could have easily made it 2-1 for them had he not hit the crossbar. Again, Lafay as well, who a lot of their fans glaze about him. You got Kirkin and Hume, who a lot of Sunderland fans think are two of the best, or were the two best fullbacks in the league last season. So they've still got players that can play. Yes, I know Bullard pulled out the last minute for them or was injured, but you play with what you've got. And I understand their bench was poor, but for the most part, they're like I say, the first 20 minutes, half an hour, they were massively on top until their goal.
Well, you said the bench were poor. I mean, they brought on Mayenda, that's
Yeah,
apparently one of their best players. They brought Isidore on, who's one of their best strikers, and then they brought on who else was it that they brought on? Mundell, who
Mundell.
everybody, who I've heard from Sunderland fans is the next best thing.
Yeah,
So you're saying the bench is poor, but that's 3 players that they brought on that are pretty good. And Xhaka in that first half an hour, Xhaka were running things.
yeah,
He's a quality midfielder. And then I heard from a Sunderland fan that what is it, Gertrude or whatever, however you
yeah,
pronounce it. He apparently played really well against Brighton.
yeah. He
So
did.
it's you're saying that you can make an excuse that we're missing all these players, but you've got players that you're saying are good enough to step in. So make your mind up. If you'd have won that game, they won't be saying anything. But because they haven't won it, and not only didn't they win it, they couldn't compete. And with after that half an hour passed by, they weren't competing. We were all over them.
Yeah. Obviously, I know you look at this. If you look at stats and stuff, shots all in our favour, possession, and all of that. Did you think a point was a fair result or not? And let us know in the comments as well, those that are listening or watching on YouTube. Did you think the result was a fair result, or do you think that Leeds should or could? Like, obviously, we could have won it, but do you think we should have won it?
I think we deserved to win it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know about should have or would have, but we deserved to win it. I think because because what was it though? I mean, I can't remember how long I left, but it flashed up that we'd had 43 touches in their penalty area. That's like a lot, you know.
yeah.
That basically we were dominating them. We were all over them. We're in their penalty, in their final third a lot of that game, and yeah, it's. I think we deserve to win it because I mean, you look back and try and think of all the chances that we had, like that on another day could have gone in or should have gone in. Like Okafor to begin with he should have just smashed that at the
Yeah.
near post and when I thought that's what he'd done and it hit the defender, which I thought it's a bit harsh if you're saying that he should have scored and made the right decision. But when you look at it from the angle behind, he's made the wrong choice. He's gone for the far corner instead of the near post. And so that's one chance that's gone. And then Harrington were unlucky to have it cleared off the line. You know, there were a couple of shots, I say on target, but there were not behind them.
Which was just headers from like. So if you look at actually who got, we had 6 shots on target, 2 from Bijal, 1 from Starch, Ampadu, Aronson, and Calvert-Lewin were the only ones that got it on target. But then you already referred to Okafor, which was just wide. Bogle as well when it came in, crossed in, poor touch, and then Calvert-Lewin went to head it, and obviously it went wide. So Bogle should have scored that, but
Well, that's
there
it. On
were
another day, that
chances.
goes in because, like, if your luck's going on your side, then they go in. You know, how many times have you seen Bogle at that back post do that, and it goes in. It's just it's one of those that I think it were an unlucky day in front of goal, but we came away with a point which I think we more than deserved.
But then the thing is, you switch it around though, and Broby or however you pronounce the name, Bobby, whatever, he could have scored, but then he only tapped it around the keeper, then trying to win a penalty. and then literally 30 seconds later hits the woodwork. So had that gone in, it's a different game, and we're having a completely different conversation here. So
Well, yeah, but again, that's what I'm saying. But Ukfor's goal, Ukfor's shot would have put us 1-0 up. So
yeah,
it's all like if buts and maybes, like you said. But
oh yeah,
it's
definitely.
we had what I was getting at though is we have plenty of chances to score. I mean,
Yeah,
they yeah, the chances that they had, they didn't take well. But if you go by every shot, should have, if they went in, we'd have still won because we had a lot more
oh,
shots than them. So but we dominated that game, mate, and it was just yeah, it's a well deserved point. We deserve the point 100%, and it's a good point at their ground. It's a good point away from home, but I do feel disappointed that we should have had 3.
no, I get what you mean. Plus, there was a couple penalty shouts as well. Whether or not one of them they said they were looking at, but they didn't show the replay what I was watching. And then you had the other one where he would, I think it was Cavalier was taken out at the edge of the area, just inside, which was looked and then just pulled away. But then they apparently had a shout as well. So again, swings around about. I think.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't think none of them were Stonewall penalties. But
No.
what I will say is the fouls around the pitch were just disgusting. Like they were getting away with everything.
Yeah, definitely. So Perry, then, mate, we'll do player ratings. Did you think Perry was at fault for the first or for their goal, and what would you rate him today?
Um, I can't blame him for the goal because it's basically a 1-on-1. Like you know, he's got loads of time to place it where he wants to place it, and it's a good finish to get it around the keeper, like into that far corner, and it's gone in the side netting. It's not gone in like anywhere
Yeah.
near where the keeper would be able to, like, should get to it. So yeah, I can't give him fault for the goal. But I'd give him a 7 overall. I don't think he was terrible.
Passing was, I think his passing was better. Some of it,
Yeah,
obviously, going long, kind of worked out good. But I think he knew not to give it to Rodon. Rodon was saying, "Don't pass it to me," which he didn't. So decision making, yeah, can't go any lower or higher than a 7 for him. But speaking of Rodon, obviously played about half an hour, mate. Played through an injury for what, half of it ish
yeah.
or a third. What would you rate him for what he did
Well,
do?
up to that point, like I said, probably a 7 because up to that point, nothing wrong. He's a warrior. He does what he does. You know, he gets his foot in. He's not afraid to. Sorry, he's not afraid to be there at them challenges. So that's what you want. That's why he's loved by Leeds fans. But yeah, it's a shame that he's come off.
Yeah,
I,
definitely.
I hope his injury is not as bad as it looks. But
Apparently, it's a bruised and swollen foot. He could be back for the FA Cup, which
well,
means he misses Liverpool.
yeah. Well,
And
that's what I mean. It's got to be bad for Rodon to come off.
oh yeah, definitely. So, but yeah, no. What did you say for him?
A 7 because it were only on half an hour. It would definitely be higher than that if he'd have stayed on pitch.
Just 6.5.
Fair enough.
Right, Bajol next, mate. Shows that he can play in a back four now instead of just a back three.
Mate, he was good today.
He's definitely getting into it now, getting into the league, into finding his rhythm. Obviously, like the first game, everyone was a bit like, why have we paid for him? No wonder he's not starting and stuff like that. But since we've gone to this new formation, gone to a back three, he's actually stood up and now back four. So, yeah, see your thoughts, mate.
Yeah, I think he was Colossus today. He's showing his quality and why we bought him. I mean, yeah, he had a bit of a shaky start, but nobody just comes into the league. It's very, very rare that someone just comes into the Premier League and just blows away. You know, look at this. In fact, you look at some of the quality of defenders that have been in the Premier League, not in our team, but in other teams. Like these, I'm talking of defenders like Varane, that top class defenders, and
Yeah.
and they've been rubbish. So
Yeah.
it's yeah, but he had a shaky start, but like since that formation switch, and he's had a bit more time to get into that into the rhythm of the Premier League and how pacey it is, and how it is, and he prefers that position. So he's grown into it, and I think that now, like when you change into that back four, it makes it easier because he can read the game better, and he's getting up to the speed that he needs to be. And yeah, closest to I'd be happy giving him like something like 7.5.
Yeah. Yeah, 7.5.
Yeah,
Right.
I'd have gone higher if he'd have scored.
Yeah, but they were both straight at the keeper pretty much. So, right, Pascal next, mate. What would you make of him? Again, brilliant in the air today.
Yeah, he was good, Pascal. Again, I'd probably give him a 7.5 just for other reasons.
Yeah, I agree with you. Bogle next, mate, who should have scored. What would you rate him today?
Again, probably a 7.5. He was good, very good. Good attacking outlet, down that right hand side. Good defensively, he just gets stuck in.
He's getting better and better now.
Yeah. Solid
Especially
performance every week.
8? Ugh, is 8 too high?
I
Yeah,
think had we won, I'd probably go up to an 8, but 7.5, I think.
I think it was that miss that put it down. But again, 3 aerial duels, 1 as well. So, BNA 7.5. Goodmanson next, mate.
Mate, he's becoming one of the best left backs we've ever had. Since Ian Hart, he's phenomenal. And
Not just going for it, going forward and hit and miss at times. At times, going for like his decision making, whether or not he passing and stuff. But defensively, he's so composed.
that's the thing about him is the composure, his strength is. I mean, you say about that going forward when he held off that defender and just took it into the penalty area. It was just that final ball, like not
Yeah, that's
going
what I
to
mean.
someone.
Yeah,
But but up until that point, and like you said, and defending when he just took the ball off Lafayette and then just like held it, turned around, and another player came in, and then he just moved, switched his feet and then cleared it. Like the composure that he's got, he's like I said, he's for me probably one of the best left backs we've had since Ian Hart.
easily. And you know how much I love Firpo, but defensively, you've got Firpo here, and then like
Goodmanson's just like the full package.
But defensively,
If he gets that final delivery, he's going to be one of the best left backs ever that we've had. So yeah. I would probably give him a 7.5 though today. At 8, I'd get that final pass.
Yeah, 7.5 is fair. Let's go to Ampadu next, mate, who's just solid in that defensive role, isn't he?
Yeah, he can't do it in Premier League though, can he? And he's
according to some fans.
Yeah, he's. I think he's just growing into it now. He's getting better and better. The more experience he gets, you forget he's still young, isn't he? He's still only young.
25.
And, yeah, and he's got the experience is coming through. He'll get better. He'll year on year, he'll get better and better if he stays with us, which I hope he does, because
definitely
he's fantastic in that midfield, and we love plays like that. Puts a foot in, he's not afraid to, and he's added to his game, albeit today a shot on target from outside the area instead of oofing it up into the stands like he normally does. So yeah, fair play to him. I'm probably tempted to give him a 7.5 rather than an 8.
No, that's fair. Right, let's go on to Aronson next, mate. Who, apart from their goal, who he, let's say, was at fault for, when the ball came out, he literally just turned and started running away from it. You mark him down for that. But apart from that, everything else, I would say he didn't put a foot wrong. He was pressing, he was passing well, he got the assist, he was creating chances, he got the most touches in the penalty area with
Yeah.
5, I think it was.
But you say
So
you didn't do. You say if you're going to criticize him for one thing, you're saying he didn't do all else wrong. He did run into like roadblocks a few times, but
I mean,
I'm not knocking him for it because I'm going to be tempted to give him 7.5, but higher end 7.5, like close.
I mean,
Maybe I might even give him. In fact, I'll give him an 8 because of the assist. But yeah, it was good today again. I think he's getting better and better. And he said himself that it's not his normal position. And he's working on that position, on being more direct, and it's showing because he is
yeah.
improving.
I mean, this is the stat. So this is from Johnny Cooper, JR Cooper 26 on X. Brendan Aronson today was the second player in Premier League this season to have 15 touches in the opposition box and created 5 chances in a match, and the first on Opa and the first Opta has on record since 2008 2009 to do with the newly promoted side. So the fact is that obviously we had conversations before about his creativity, that he doesn't create enough chances. I thought today he was excellent. I think 8.5, can't go any less than that. And as much as I do love Aronson, I do big him up. I do think he's very vastly underrated by a lot of fans. But I'll have conversations. I'll have conversations with other fan base, and they'll say how good Aronson is. And they'll be like, "Why do you fans not like him?" So the fact that other teams can see it, but a lot of our fan base can't see it.
Well, what
But
are you telling me that I don't see? I praise him. I praise him when he's good, and then when he does a lot, when he does things wrong, I'll say that this is what he's done. But even he's admitted himself that he's not, he's not that, it's not his position, it's not his
oh yeah,
field,
no, I knew that, and
and
I knew he's
he's learning, which is shown in his improvements. But he does do a lot. If you watch him the whole game, and this is what I've said to you before about people, like it'll stick in the mind that something really good that he does, it'll stick in the mind, and they'll forget about all the other bits, or vice versa. If he does something really bad, that sticks in your mind, and you forget about all the good bits that he does. So it's, but I look at him overall, like, and that's why I balance it out as like I can't give him too high of a score because there were moments where he did do things that he shouldn't have done, or his decision making weren't as good. So I'll balance it out and give him an 8.
Yeah, I'm still going to give him an 8.5.
Fine.
Right, Anton Stach next.
I'm just going to give him a 9.
I've,
It was
I've,
unbelievable.
I've said this elsewhere, but this was his most complete game in like how like consistent he was today. So obviously he won the most duels in the game with 10, most tackles with 5, the most crosses in the game from a centre mid or from anybody, 3 chances created, 42 out of 47 passes, 12 defensive contributions, and even going forward as well, 78 touches, 3 touches in their box, 3 shots, 3 key passes, 4 aerial, 1, and 11 passes into final third. So not just defensively, he was good at going forward as well. And he
Yeah,
is.
it were colossal in that midfield today. Like he after, like I say, Shaka ran the show for the first 30 minutes, but after that, it were all Stack. Stack ran it. He got to grips with the game and he just ran that midfield. Once he changed the system, it were all through Stack. And do you know something? What I've noticed today about whenever he's chasing down the player for the ball, whenever he's going for that ball, in my mind, I've got no doubt that he just wins it. He's going to win it. Like if a player's trying to get past him, not a prayer, because he seems to just stick a foot out and get the ball, and then it sticks to him. For a tall player and lanky as what he is, the ball just sticks to his feet. Like he just comes away with it, and he started coming away with it and actually producing something. Getting us into an attack and actually playing that. He's playing better final balls and better decisions than what he were previous.
Yeah.
And I think that's him getting up to speed with how things are now.
Yeah, you'll get used to obviously the league. I mean, I've seen one X or Twitter account saying that he has to be on the German man. I think I can't remember who the German manager is now. It's got to be on his radar for the World Cup, at
Yeah,
least pushing for it.
it wouldn't surprise me. He
I
needs to
mean,
be that. He needs to. I couldn't think of a German midfielder that's as good as what he can be. I'm not saying he's there yet, but he's going to be top class.
yeah, I can't remember who it was, so I'll try and find it and put it in the comments somewhere. But they were saying that for the last 2-3 weeks in a row now has been saying that compared to other German midfielders, he's like the complete midfielder for him, which you
I
can
think
see.
I think his fitness has probably been the issue, like getting up to speed with the Premier League.
Yeah.
Because in Germany, it's a bit more chilled, I'd say. Like for the 90 minutes that you play, it's probably a bit more like you're not doing as much, and mentally, it's not as draining on you as what it is in the Premier League. But now I think he's starting to is he's been here what 6 months or so, and I think his fitness has started to
Yeah.
get better, because that's what Farke does, and his coaches is with one of the fittest teams in the league, and he gets them all fit, just like what we had under Bielsa when everybody's fit. We're one of the fittest teams in the league, and I think once everybody's up to the maximum fitness what we need them to be, and you see that that's changed in the results that we've got, it's changing the style of play that we're doing, and these players like Stack, Biol, they're all playing better, and DCL.
Oh
Just
yeah.
they're all playing better because the fitness is up there. One thing I got told when I was young, that one thing I got told, the difference between we were at this academy thing, and one thing I got told was the difference between you lot and this kid who was he'd already been there for a few seasons. The difference between you lot and this kid is fitness. That's what we got told. And it's everybody then strive to get fitter and fitter so that they could be, in the same position. So that and you see it all the time. The fitter you are, your technical ability
Oh
and
yeah.
everything goes through.
Yeah. That's me. I'm not fit at all, so it's all right. I never was. Right. Let's move on to Okafor next, mate. Much,
Okafor,
much better when he went onto the wing. When we went to that 4-3-3 with
yeah.
him, he was close to it, but he was more better on the wing. What did you rate him today?
See, he's good in moments. Okafor, isn't he? Is I'd probably give him a 7.5, 7.
7.
Yeah, maybe a 7, because he's good in flashes, in moments, but then he's also like what annoys me the most is when he does it numerous times where he rolls that ball and loses possession himself rather than a defender taking it off his feet when he's trying to do a trick, and he don't pull it off. And I know that if he pulls that off 9 times out of 10 or 8 times out of 10, I don't mind, but he does it he maybe pulls it
Yeah.
off 2 or 3 times out of 10.
But I know
So
you have said so many times though that you do like a player that risks,
yeah,
whereas what he
yeah,
does. So I mean, there was a lovely little. I think Aronson done like a little back heel to him, and then Aronson was running on, and all Okafor had to do was pass it back to him, and instead he dribbled inside. Yes, he drew a foul, but I'm
yeah.
like,
He took too
just
long.
play the simple pass, just
Yeah,
literally just pass it back to Aronson,
he took
and
too
then
long over that.
come back inside, and then you had a counter attack. Whereas you drew a foul and you get them back in position. So
Yeah,
7.
yeah. Probably happy with 7. Yeah, I remember that part because it stuck in my mind. That because I just stop being so greedy. Like you don't need to run
Yeah.
all the way through, just pass the ball. But
Yeah, right. Tanaka, mate, obviously came on for Rodon, which then switched the position. What did you rate him today?
I'd probably give him a 7.5. I thought he was brilliant when he came on. You just flying in straight away, flew in and stuck his foot out and blocked a clearance that then went to their keeper. Then he was chasing that down, and I thought, here we go. This is the Tanaka we love. He just.
I said at the start before the game, I don't mind this Tanaka on the bench, Aronson starting, because Aronson will give you that chasing players, tire them out, and then you can have Tanaka come on. Yes, okay, the circumstances were different. He had to come on for Rodon, which then kind of helped the formation anyway, so you have him off the bench. Whereas maybe then next time when we play Liverpool, you switch it around. You start Tanaka, and then you have Aronson off the bench to come at them, kind of thing. Who knows? We're not the manager. Farker is, or whatever he chooses. Fair play to him. He should win Manager of the Month. I'm just going to put that out there now. Unbeaten against Liverpool, Chelsea, Brentford, Palace, and now Sunderland. And that second half against Man City, which was just before. So, but yeah, 7 for Okafor. Dominic Calvert-Lewin, mate, 7 in 6.
Mate, is he going to get?
It's not just the fact that he scored as well. It's the fact that his hold-up play. Yeah, okay, fair enough. A lot of the headers he didn't win today, but he was pressuring them. He was linking up well. Okay, not so much when we had to change the formation, but then when we had Metch come on, no, Metch came on for him, didn't he? No, when Mitch came on for that 5-10 minutes, he then come on a little bit better, mate. What did you think?
He came on for Okafor, didn't
he? Yeah. What did you think of DCL today?
He's fantastic again. I think without this is what I used to say about Bamford, isn't it? Like when people say Bamford's rubbish, and it's like when he's out of the team, you miss him, and I think the same with DCL. Like I think if DCL's not playing, you'll see a massive hole in that area. But today, yeah, fantastic again, and he deserved his goal. Do you think he's going to get that England call up?
I hope he does, mate. But the thing is, though, it's between him and Watkins at the end of the day, in my opinion. Unless you take all three, or just leave Kane at home in Germany and don't take him. Who needs Kane when you got DCL? I'm joking.
Who scored the most goals? Ollie Watkins or DCL this season?
DCL.
So
I only think by one though. Out of all the Englishmen, I think DCL's got 8, and the next is 7, which I think
he's been the most prolific this month. And if he carries on,
out of anybody in the top 10 leagues,
yeah, and if he carries it on, it's his best goal scoring streak ever.
Could you just imagine though if he does it against Liverpool and Scum,
mate? Just, I mean, what's it? It's the record. There's only 3 players in Leeds history that are above him now. So, like, you've got, I think, that John McCall that's got 6 in 6, so he's equaled that record. I think you've got Jennings that's next one, 7.
Yeah, so Tom Jennings had 7 in a row. Yeah. Charlie Ketley in 1930 had 7, and then John McCall had 6.
Yeah, and there's one with 8. There's one with 8 in a row.
It just says here, Dominic Calvert-Lewin is the 4th player in Leeds history to score in 6 top-flight appearances in a row after Tom Jennings in 1926, Charlie Ketley, and John McCall. So
yeah, Charlie Ketley, that's it. He's got 8, so 8 in a row. So that, but going back,
they've both got 7, and then John McCall's got 6.
One's got 8. I'm pretty sure. But anyway, regardless, I'm not arguing about that stat. What I'm going to. My point is that you're going way back to that era of the 20s, 30s when this record stood, and Dominic's close to it. He's 2 goals away from being in Leeds history. It can, and if he gets that far, you've got then Vardy's Premier League record.
And who's it if he scores next game and then breaks the record, it will be at home against Scum as well.
Yeah.
That would just
So,
be top, especially if it's in like the same minute.
and to say that he were a free transfer and not everybody wrote him off at the beginning of the season is
Never, mate. I backed him from the start, mate.
he's doing what he's doing best.
And he's also the third Leeds player to score 6 goals in a single month of a Premier League football, alongside Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank, who scored 6 in '98 in April, and then Viduka got 8.
Yeah, both in April, them two.
Yeah. So going back to the ratings then, mate, for Dominic
we went on a bit of a tangent there, didn't we? I think rating for him, I'd say I'd probably give him an 8.
Yeah.
That I think that's fair.
I'll give him an 8 as well. I just realised that we marked Tanaka before we marked DCL as well, didn't we? Because we both said 7.5 for Tanaka, didn't we?
Yeah.
So it's a long year so far.
Yeah.
Right. The next substitute was Metcha for Okafor, mate.
And I think he was good when he came on, to be honest. I'd be tempted to give him a 7.5. I think he was better than Okafor.
I'm just gonna give him a 7.
Fair enough.
Looked lively, draw a couple of fouls.
I like that little flick, that little Ibrahimovic flick that he did.
Yeah.
Where Ibra scores like that, but and Metcha did it, and I was like, oh, he's going to send him on his way there, but the defender blocked it. I was like, oh, if that had gone through, what an assist that would have been.
Yeah. Yeah, 7. Right. Nonto, mate, came on with about 5-10 minutes to go for DCL.
I'm thinking he was in game, wasn't he?
No, he touched the ball 5 times. So,
yeah.
NA, mate, for him?
Yeah, NA.
No, that's fine. And Daniel Farker, mate, what would you rate him out of 10?
You've got to give him a 9, haven't you?
See, my thinking is
overall, I'm giving overall for today, maybe. Yeah, I'll stick with 9 for today.
I'm going to give him an 8.5. I thought should have taken Rodon off beforehand. Yeah, maybe Rodon wanted to stay on and stuff like that. Again,
you can only say that in hindsight, can't you? Because you wouldn't take Rodon.
No, I know. I'm saying it in hindsight now. So
yeah, you wouldn't take Rodon off. Like you would never take Rodon off if.
Nah.
So and if he says he's fit, if he can, yeah, that's what I mean. You're nitpicking. So give him a 9. He's
no, that's fine.
He's unbeaten in 5 games against a really tough run of fixtures.
Oh yeah, I mean nobody couldn't say right now that we would have done that at the beginning of the Chelsea game. I know a few may have said, "Oh yeah, we're not going to lose a game," whether or not they're being serious or not. But nobody with a sound brain would have said that we would have done that. So, and if you did, fair play to you. But my question is though, now we got no games left for the rest of the year. Who is Leeds' top scorer for the whole calendar year?
For the whole calendar year?
Yeah, so from January right up until now, which Leeds players scored the most goals?
You're going to say Peru, aren't you?
I am. With 10.
Yeah, well, I'm not far behind. And they were scoring the championship though, mate.
No, I know that, but do you think that Pirro will leave in January?
Yes.
Obviously, you got Preston, Stoke that are after him. Ipswich apparently think Sam Clark. So whether or not it's going to be sold or a loan.
I think there'll be a few things change around, but my opinion is I'm just looking at players that are assets for us. That there's certain players that you're not going to get a note for them, so they're not assets to create wiggle room in PSR. Yeah. But your players like Perot, they're going to create money for
A
him.
bidding war. You're going to get a bidding war for him, I think.
Well, if you get the thing is, if you get 10 million for him, right? I'd rather get money for. I know it sometimes, like you don't want to sell a player that you know that he's done well for Leeds. You like, you like him. You don't want to sell him, but to progress and move on, you've got to. And it's like if you can get 10 million for him, fair enough. You get 10 million for him, but you bring in someone better quality that can. And it's got to happen. It's the same, and I think I don't think he's alone. I think Perot's there. You've got Perot, you've got Melier, which will probably go
free transfer. He's free. He's free to talk to European clubs in 2 days. So
so he'll probably go. And then you've got, and I do believe that I think Nonto is another player that's I'd take the money and buy someone that's going to be more impactful than him.
I know, I know you would. Obviously, Harrison, you're not going to get anybody coming for him realistically.
No, but he's someone that you'd hopefully try to get off the books.
It will still be profit anyway because it's been over 3 years since we've had him. So whatever we sell him for, it will still be profit. We signed him for like 11, 13 million anyway. So I think we can get the money back or loan him maybe to a championship squad.
All I want to happen is I want us to get replacements before we actually, ready. So because I've heard like Fiorentina, I think are after Nonto.
I mean, can they afford him? They've only won 1 or 2 games in a relegation fight.
Yeah, I think they're talking about a loan with an obligation. So
take it.
I think it'll be a kind of loan obligation to buy if they stay up, kind of thing.
Yeah. Right. But we will leave it there, and we will be back for the Liverpool game, which hopefully we will start the new year. We are playing on New Year's Day, aren't we? Yeah. Yes, we are. Hopefully we start the New Year's Day with a win at Anfield. But I'll take a point. I'm not going to be greedy. I'll take a point there. DC out to score 1-0. But
yeah, but a point away from home, I'm happy with it in Premier League. It's like it's his own form. We stick with his own form. I'm happy with a point away. But the thing that worries me about Liverpool, and I'm not going to sugarcoat it, is they've had a little bit of a upturn in form since that draw, and I think
they're also unbeaten in December as well.
Yeah, but they'll be wanting to rectify that result that they had at Ellen Road.
Yeah. Right, we will leave it there. Guys, let us know if you do agree with the player ratings, who your man of the match was, and was it a good point or 2 points drop? Let us know, and we'll be back for the Liverpool game. Leeds.
Leeds.